So now we've got the book in front of us, all right? Now we're going to just basically, before we get into the meat of this, give you the principles of what a miracle is, all right? And as I said earlier to you, it seems very simple, but it's really not. Why? A miracle, finally, is only the admission of God, which was inevitable in time and true in eternity, okay? Finally, it's the revelation of whole mind, but it can be experienced in the holy instant or the momentary vision of a reassociation of your mind to what? The ultimate revelation of yourself. You might want to look at this very simply. I'm teaching you from revelation. So is the Course in Miracles. That's not really hard if you look at it that way. That will cause holy instances in your own mental associations. And they will cause you to be what? Enlightened. That's the basis of this teaching. The principles of miracles. Notice that it's plural. Notice that miracles is plural. Okay. Notice that it says that you must identify the power of your own mind with the capacity, as I just read you here, that everything is contained within your own mind and you have all power. We cannot teach you this by degrading your mind processes. You will not accept it. You cannot accept it because you are you. The principles of miracles will even contain the allowance for your working magic, won't it? It's going to say that you can take the power of your mind and direct it to momentary or temporal reassociations of your definitions of your own associate visions, okay? That you can cause the elimination of a tumor in a consciousness, that you can teach the lame to walk. Of course, you can do that. But if you do that within a limited temporal association of your own mind, the miracle cannot exceed the direction of your direction of it, of the purpose of it. Do you see that? Yes. Okay. Now we're going to teach you to whole-mindedness so that you see the miracle is only your whole mind coming to the truth by the denial of your perceptions, or the use of magic in your own mind, isn't it? Which is what you do. All right, biggie. There is no order of difficulties to miracles. One is not harder or bigger than another. Why? They are all the same. They are all expressions of love are maximal. And a miracle is what? An expression of love. Okay. A miracle is looking at your brother for just a moment and saying, I love you totally. Well, what happened when I said I loved you totally? I forgot to judge you. I didn't add something on because of this, all right? I released my mind for what? In an unconditional association with you to allow the miracle to occur. This is the Course in Miracles, for goodness sake. What happens? All expressions of love must be maximal. Why? God creating is what love is. You are a creator, aren't you? Now, if you're going to create in perceptions, how will you do it? By seeing yourself wholly perceptual. By not denying your own creations. By not projecting from your mind and disassociating yourself from yourself. Isn't it? They're always maximal. Okay. That is to say, if anybody is sick, one sickness wouldn't be any different than another, would it? He is only sick by your judgment. Any judgment of him is false. A bad cold is the same as death. It's not different. Do you see? There aren't degrees to separation and sin. That's what this says. It's all maximal. Okay. Now, miracles as such don't make any difference. Why would they? Why? They're just definitions of the truth that must be inherent in you. The manner in which you work the miracle doesn't matter. The miracle that actually occurs makes absolutely no difference, does it? Okay? The only thing that matters is their source, which is far behind your evaluation anyway. Why? It's God. And your attempts to evaluate it are your attempts to give explicit causes to your own mind and deny the final wholeness of you. Okay? You're trying to work the miracle denies the miracle. Jesus talks about this in the Course. It says now it's going to take a miracle to get you to be a miracle worker. You got so used to using the power of your own mind that you need that's the devil, incidentally. Yeah, you're determined to do that. Here we go. Now, miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. They have to be, all right? The real miracle is the love that inspires them. That's God. That's the truth. In this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. Why? It's a statement of the whole truth of you in your own mind, isn't it? That's a miracle. You guys are working miracle by relinquishing your own thoughts about the consciousness around you. That's how the miracle works. Obviously, the miracle's not going to work by your definition, isn't it? The miracle works by your non-definition. Wow, isn't that amazing? Let go and let God, huh? Okay, ready? All miracles mean life, literally. You see life in the miracle. And God is the giver of life. His voice will direct you very specifically. You will be told all you need to know. Why? Listen, contained in every conceptual thought that you have is a whole reality. That's what that says. It's impossible that that not be so, because you are the power of God. It's you who organize the perceptual thoughts and associations. Okay? As you advance in this, when you have a thought that's of no value to you, it'll just be thrown out of your equation. Some of you are experiencing that. You'll lose your necessity to hold on to that perceptual evaluation. Okay? You'll know exactly what to do. Okay? Now, miracles are habits and should be involuntary. Ready? They should not be under conscious control. Okay? Consciously selected miracles can be misguided. Why? You want a result within the own power of your own mind. Can you do it? Yeah, it doesn't say here you can't do it, does it? It doesn't take away from you the power to say, oh no, I'm going to bring about a healing of that cancer so you can die of old age, or you can die of something else. Or I'm going to use the power of my own mind to do it. No, no. It just asks you to look at yourself and how you're using that power. By saying miracles are habits, the workbook teaches you to look again all the time. Okay? As your mind progresses in that, you become non-judgmental, so that when you enter into a situation on earth, you enter into it and keep your mouth shut. You enter onto the stage and immediately don't present the results of your own mind to the situation. What happens? The situation changes. Right? Because what you brought to the situation is all it can be. Yeah, you're hearing me. That's what this. That's the habit you should evolve. Why? Miracles are natural. When they do not occur, something has gone wrong, and that something is your determination to establish your own reality, isn't it? The miracle works fully all the time. Why? You're the obstacle to that in your perceptual mind. Isn't that something? Now, miracles are everyone's right because they're the right of a whole mind. But purification is necessary first. Okay, you have to do what? In your own body associations, examine the defense mechanisms, okay, that you have used to establish your limited reality. Miracles will not work unless you forgive. They can't. Because if there's a sin or sickness outside of you, okay, that you are not the cause of, all right, the miracle obviously won't work because it's not under the control of your own mind. That's a fact. Miracles are healing because they supply a lack, and you are lacking here. They are performed by those who temporarily have more for those who temporarily have less. That's a fact. This coming to peace and serenity that you're undergoing in your mind will be a great assistance to the thought forms that are in your chaotic association. Okay? The peace that you are feeling in the miracle of your mind is literally communicative. All right? The consciousnesses that will come around you will suddenly begin to feel real good because you have brought about in their mind a change in who they are through your non-resistance of your association with them in the falsity. Okay? You are establishing godly or holy relationships with each other. Isn't that lovely? In that sense, miracles are a kind of exchange. Why? They need to be acknowledged. Okay? The moment that you would acknowledge your brother as a whole living son of God, you will become that because he is a reflection of your mind. Okay? Yes, that is so. I will have that wholly. Like all expressions of love, which are always miraculous in the true sense, okay, the exchange reverses the physical laws. They bring more love both to the giver and to the receiver. Physical laws demand that you keep separate from each other and identify yourself through the separation of each other. Okay? A miracle says, no, we are only as God created us holy. I will not judge you in my own mind, and you must change because I have changed my mind about myself and subsequently about you. Now, it's impossible that that not be so. Later on, it's going to say, well, is it necessary that consciousness acknowledge it? No. See, that's why we need so many of these concepts, so that you can see that. Okay, what do? They bring more love both to the giver and the receiver. Actually, they bring the acknowledgement that you can only give to yourself. The miracle then becomes nothing more than your total giving, which is your determination not to hold on to your own perceptual associations in defense of the things that are outside of you. That's the perfect miracle. God only gives. God only creates. Ready. The use of miracles as spectacles to induce belief is a misunderstanding of their purpose. Obviously, that's the magic of it, isn't it? Okay. Can you do that? Sure. Can you authenticate the power of your mind? Yes, but not to the full power of it. That can't be authenticated. Okay, you can do much more than you pretend to. You can do everything. Moving mountains is the least you can do. You're always being tempted by the devil, aren't you? You undergo this enlightenment occasion. You're baptized by John. You have a little enlightenment, and you're immediately tempted by the devil to use that power in the limitation. This is Jesus in the 40 days, isn't it? Save yourself. Throw yourself off. Let God save you. All the things that you're tempted to use this power of your mind for, and always have been. Okay? You are constantly succumbing to the temptation of your own attraction for death, your own need to remain temporal in the association with reality. That's all the devil is. Okay? Now, ready? Prayer is the medium of miracles. Isn't that something? The medium. Okay. Would have to be if God's apparently outside of you. You ask for help. I can't deal with this situation, help me. Do you get the help? Yes. To the direct extent you do not need the situation to verify your own sickness and death, you'll get it. Most of you have been very fearful of the healing. You do not want the healing to occur, and had the healing occurred, you would have been more fearful in your reassociations. Can you hear this? This is in the Course. Yeah. You really don't want to be healed totally, and that's what the problem obviously is. Prayer is the medium of miracles. It is a means of communication of the created with the Creator. Okay, the declaration, there is a God, and God says, you are my son. Through prayer, love is received, and through miracles, love is expressed. Isn't that nice? This is exactly the same thing as saying, I can't, God will if I'll let him. It's exactly what that is. Right. Yet, no, God, you can do it, I can't. I then release my associate identities with the necessity for me to act in my own mind. What happens? The miracle. I get out of the driver's seat. We used to teach this. Let go and let God. That's the whole teaching, and that's the miracle. Ready? Miracles are thoughts, of course. Now, thoughts can represent the lower or bodily level experience, or the higher or spiritual level of experience. One makes the physical, and the other creates the spiritual. You listen to me. In that sense, you are working the miracle of spiritual identification. Okay. Since miracle is what? Thought. Okay. A miracle really is the utilization of God creating, because that's what your whole mind is. All right. Now you can take that power and express it as a miracle in the physical reassociations with the physical, rather than a declaration that the physical is totally spiritual. And you can come to that wholeness. All right. One literally makes the physical. The power that you use in your perceptual mind to hold on to your self-identity is an extraordinary thing, guys. The lengths that you will go to retain sickness and pain and death. Do you see it? This is in the Course. It talks about it. You're going to use every single power at your disposal, and all power is at your disposal to retain this retention of your time. This has nothing to do with how you got into it or where you think you are. This is a statement of how your mind works here.